Thank you for joining us today on What's Up Prince Williams here at Studio 1A in Dale City, Virginia. Today we have Supervisor Victor Angry, the Neabsco District Supervisor. Thank you very much for being on our show today.
Thank you, Rusty. Always a pleasure being here.
So we're going to jump right into it because I know you're very busy right now with everything going on. What are some of the community issues that you're focusing on?
For me right now, probably the biggest is just listening to the constituents. So Neabsco is about 80,000 strong, and so that's a pretty big area for me to kind of cover. And just right now, I'm in kind of information gathering mode, just find out what's really going on. A big thing that I really want to do is what I call the low-hanging fruit. I want to be able to solve those issues that I can do right now with just my staff and just a swipe of a pen, or as I said on my swearing in, maybe climbing up and pulling some leaves out of a gutter. Hadn't done that yet, but so really just focusing on just meeting the people really and finding out what their concerns are.
So what are some of the community issues that Supervisor Jenkins was working on that you're continuing with?
Yeah, big one is really Parks and Rec. Supervisor Jenkins was big in making sure our parks stay beautiful and are accessible to the citizens. And we've really been putting a focus on handicap accessibilities or disabled accessibilities. So making sure that everybody has access to the Parks and Rec. So really want to put a big focus on that. The other was really taking these sidewalks that led to nowhere and connecting those sidewalks and making them safer for folks to walk on, ride on, bike on, that sort of thing.
So in your time so far in the supervisor seat, what's been your experience? You know, who have you run into? Who are you working with? What are you learning?
Yeah, I'm learning everything. My greatest learning comes from the staff itself. So I'm very satisfied. Actually, more than satisfied. I'm extremely happy with the staff that Prince William County has in place. The behind-the-scenes folks that make the magic happen. You guys know who you are. And so I'm learning a lot from them, and we really do have, as we say in the Army, SMEs, subject matter experts. So each directorate really is passionate about what they do, and so I'm just meeting a lot of good folks that are bringing me up to speed on how their departments work, what the issues are, and then where I kind of fall in line with all of that, being one of 8 on the board. And that's really the best part, and also if I could take myself back to high school again, it's like being in school all over again, because it's an information overload of data, numbers, stories, scenarios, cases, but all worth it. So in the end, by the time this is all over, I feel I'll be better well-rounded to kind of hit the streets and make a lot more happen. The higher fruit, as we say. So take care of those issues.
Now, you were already involved with the community before you decided to run for supervisor here. But since then, what is it like being with the community now? I mean, you were there helping out with the ARC and those things. But it's like, what has been kind of interesting with that?
Well, the biggest thing is I have to realize that I'm Supervisor Victor Angry now. I'm honorable, if you will, because I really just like being what I call boots on the ground, dealing with the people. And like you said, I'm still a firefighter. I'm still with the fire department. I still deal with a little bit of the public education. So I'm still engaged with the people from that side of the house. But being a supervisor really just kind of, it makes it all a supervisor role. So when I go places and people realize who I am, it kind of does change up the conversation a little bit. But at the same time, it still allows me to do what I love to do best, which is get to the root of problems. If you're having one, how can I fix it? If you just know of a situation, how can I fix it? And before I was the supervisor, I was that same person. So those two worlds, they mix well because there's no real change over there. It's just the title has changed and the responsibility has changed. It's a lot more increased. But it's almost like I get to solve my own problems because as the firefighter and volunteer in the community, I could go find the problem and I got to go tell it to the supervisor. So now, being the Gemini that I am, I kind of tell it to myself. And we can go get some solutions a lot faster. So
that's great.
It's nice.
Well, thank you very much for taking the time to talk with us today. Keep up the good work, and
Yes.
I'm sure we'll be talking to you soon about some other things going on.
Yes, sir, you will.
And thank you very much for joining us on What's Up Prince William.